on Sunrise Extra on a Friday. We are talking coronavirus this morning because my jaw totally dropped when I came into work, and I told you.
I was like, Nita, pick up your jaw. It's on the floor.
So we interviewed this woman. What day was that? Wednesday night.
Yes, we had it on the show yesterday.
Yesterday morning on Sunrise, Thursday morning. From Forest Grove, her and her husband went on this great cruise through Asia, and they were at the end of their cruise. The ship docked at the final port, and then 10 people tested positive for coronavirus. Right. They didn't let anyone off the ship. Everyone was kept to their rooms. So we interviewed her about, just being like, caught up in your room.
One of 37, or they, the couple, two of 3,700 people that were now stuck on this cruise ship because of those 10 that were diagnosed with coronavirus.
Yeah, waiting out 2 weeks to see, if anyone else got it. Turns out they did. So overnight, we learned now 61 people on that ship have it, and she is one of them. From Forest Grove.
Local woman.
She talked to us over the phone. She's in a hospital now in Japan, and Catherine Cook spoke with her about how she's feeling. Take a listen.
It doesn't feel like much right now. So if I was, feeling really bad and, having like major flu-like symptoms, I would be more worried, but I'm not.
Rebecca is one of 3,700 people on this cruise ship that's docked outside Yokohama in Japan. She told us on Wednesday how they all had been forced to stay inside their rooms after 10 passengers tested positive for the new coronavirus. Then Thursday, she learned, along with the rest of the world, that 41 more passengers had the virus, and she was one of them. She was waiting to be removed from the ship when we talked with her Thursday night. She'll be taken to the hospital for treatment, but her husband, who was on board with her, won't be able to come along.
We're together most of the time, so it's a little bit disconcerting to be separated like this and, when somebody's sick.
Rebecca says she'll have to be in the hospital for at least 3 days. She's been able to pass the time so far by watching movies and talking with friends and family back home. And she has a message for anyone worried she might bring the virus back with her.
For everybody back home, we're going to get this taken care of. By the time I come home, I will be fine. They won't let us come home until that happens.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
What do you worry about? I don't know, we don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I feel like
her poor husband is just stuck in their room. He was sleeping in the same bed with,
Well, we don't know what's going to happen to him, but when we did this yesterday and we had this conversation, I kind of kept my mouth closed. But the thought that crossed my mind was, everybody wants to leave their staterooms. They want to go out in their balcony. They're hollering to each other. I'm like, are you spreading coronavirus now? It's like everybody should be quarantined.
Right. And quarantine means staying in your room.
And then yesterday we were talking about the masks that the cruise ship said it's trying to get for these passengers. And so I started looking up that. And just your regular surgical masks do nothing to stop coronavirus or probably any other virus. It's a very specific type of mask that I don't know that the cruise ship is springing for that, but I had so many questions.
Yeah.
And now you got a big answer in terms of are these people from Forest Grove safe? Apparently not, because she, between yesterday morning and this morning, has been diagnosed with coronavirus. So she's not on the ship anymore, obviously. She's in a Japanese hospital. She was very upbeat, to her credit. She was staying upbeat and it felt like, she was just dealing with this and she'll be okay. And, she seems very positive about it. But like you mentioned, her husband's still on the ship. And
in the room,
I'm sure once it was, hey, there's 10 people out of these 3,700 that have this, and everyone's like, oh man, well, that's too bad. Not me. Because she even said that. She said it's not going to be me. Now she is part of that.
61.
Now there's 61. So I'm guessing maybe the tone has changed on that cruise ship to where people are like, you know what? I'm not really that interested in stepping outside anymore. I will stay here, hunker down, and do what it takes to not be part of this growing number.
I remember something as simple as a stomach bug, the flu, that was going around our house years ago at Christmas. And everybody got it except me. And I walked around my place like, I feel like a ticking time bomb. Like, is it going to happen? That must be ridiculously stressful for those people.
But you guys remember me going off in commercial breaks when coronavirus kind of first started?
You basically thought it was going to, what's all the hype about, or we're blowing this out of proportion? Did you say that?
Yes.
And I thought to myself, what is she, a doctor?
Dr. Nina.
I just think, like the media, we are the media.
Yes.
Like, we love pictures of people wearing masks, and doesn't that sound crazy? And then every day the number goes up, and breaking news, and it's so easy to do that. But in reality, and I was saying this from the beginning, and then I kind of was like, okay, maybe I better, maybe this is super crazy serious.
Yes.
Because the flu kills, I don't even know what the ratio is, but way, way, way more people already. Let's pull up that website really quick.
That's what you kept saying. You're right. You kept mentioning the flu and how it kills many more people than this. But hey, this is new. We don't know what this kid's capable of.
Coronavirus has been, this is a new strain of it, but on the CDC's website it says everyone gets a version of coronavirus sometime in their life. This is from this year and the CDC website. 10,000 Americans, but it is on the CDC as well. 10,000 Americans have already died of the flu this season, compared to, 600 people around the world with coronavirus. So I just want to put it in perspective. Dr. Drew, remember Dr. Drew Pinsky from
Love
what was it called? Love Line with Adam Carolla. Man, I used to watch it on NTV. Anyway, he was outside of a restaurant in LA, TMZ. They caught up with him, and he started going off about the hype over coronavirus. Listen to this.
Here's what the headline. Here's the headlines they're saying. The headlines are, "Oh my God, there's tens of thousands of more cases than we knew. There's so many more coronavirus infections." The headline should be, "In spite of there being many, many tens of thousands of more cases, it's milder than we ever knew, and only 300 people have died. Worry about the flu. That will kill you."
He goes on and off on the media.
But that's a good perspective. I mean, that is all part of the conversation. Did you see on our Facebook feed, Robert Marler, good morning. You have to type in some more information because I'm super curious. Robert says, I have a friend on that ship. It's a 30-day quarantine, and every time a new case is found, the clock restarts.
No.
Have you been talking to your friend? I haven't heard that at all.
Wow.
We've heard 2 weeks,
Wow.
2-week quarantine, but that might be correct when
Tell us
people
more.
test positive that it starts over.
I was trying to put myself in the shoes of this couple from Forest Grove, or really anyone on that ship, but because they're so close to us, I was thinking about them specifically. So let's put yourself in their shoes. You're there, you put in for work a 2-week vacation. You've been looking, and typically most of us don't take a full 2 weeks for vacation, right? You break that up maybe a week at a time. So you take this vacation, you're going to get back to work, so you think, and then suddenly you're stuck on the ship. How does work handle that? How does an employer handle that? I would think they have to have a job for you when you come back, right? But it's like, hey, I don't know when I'm coming back to work. You don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking about how that would be unsettling for me. Like, geez,
all my vacation is disappearing.
Not only that, just like I can't do my job. I can't be there to execute my job. You always become less valuable when you're not at work.
Well, Ann Wilson Donaldson says the same thing.
Your health?
She's like dovetailing off what you're saying. She said, I'm going to be on a cruise ship March 1st. I can't imagine this happening. I'd probably lose my job if I couldn't come home.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
See, that is a concern of some.
Yeah.
But are you
worrywart like myself.
I just think, let's say you're blessed and you have 4 weeks of vacation here, and all of a sudden you thought you were going to use 1 week, and now you use 3 weeks, and you're like, I would hate that.
I wonder if you can get a doctor's note for that, or like medical leave.
I'm not worried about losing vacation time. That's what I was trying to say.
Short-term disability.
I love my
this
vacation
is like some
time.
crazy world, circumstance that's.
Or your kids. I was thinking, do they have kids? Do we ever ask them?
Yeah, are
if
they
have
stuck with their
children?
grandparents or something?
What are my kids doing right now this whole time I'm gone? That would be terribly unsettling. If it's not their case, so be it. But it would be our case if we were on that cruise. Like, what the heck are the kids going to do now? That is just a terrible situation to be in for both of them, whether the husband comes down with the coronavirus itself or not. It's just an awful situation to be in.
Yeah, and you can't control it. I mean, really, I'm not in that many positions in life I can't control. That you can't control.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some people might joke and say, oh, that doesn't sound so bad. I went for a cruise and I get to stay on the cruise ship for
That's what the lady thought. She's like, I'll just watch TV and whatever. And
as long as they don't run out of
you've already
food.
got it. That's why they're quarantining them, because the incubation period is, so many days where you don't feel the symptoms, but you have it.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with my phone, why I can't pull up the Wi-Fi, so I'm not able to pull up the viewer comments right now, which I'd love to do.
J.R. Raven says, Brenda, you look great in red this morning. We are wearing red.
I concur.
Thank you.
Red for Women's Day.
Yeah.
Kenny B, CB on YouTube says, I feel safe I don't leave the cannabis farm. Only my chef leaves to get groceries, so he's not going to get the
Don't
coronavirus.
leave the
He
cannabis.
literally never
farm.
leaves it.
Why would you?
J.R. Raven wants to live on the cannabis farm too. Let's see. I
didn't see this going that way.
Yeah, sounds like World War Z out there.
And Ginny Carlson says, I got my flu shot, I got my pneumonia shot, feeling good.
I got the flu shot
As a
too.
cancer survivor and single mom, doing my best to stay healthy, be smart people. There is no vaccine for coronavirus.
Nope.
They are working on it, but they're saying it could be a year away before this
They
new
have it.
thing has some
And-
kind of shot affiliated with it.
Did we mention that producer Rob was saying overall statistically this has been a really quiet flu season, much quieter than last year anyway?
We did show that 10,000 Americans have died from the
I think
flu.
Rob said that last year those numbers for the flu season were, I think I heard him right, it was more like 30,000. This year 10, which if that's the case has been, woo, what a quiet flu season it's been compared to last year.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
I mean, numbers really need to be put into perspective. You know,
yes,
it's like we talked about the Oscars. Millions less people every year, but then to me, I looked at the graphic we showed, I'm like, well, there's still a lot of people watching it. So it was 29 versus 32 million. That's still a lot of people watching it.
Am I crazy? I think 10,000 is still a lot of people, Rod.
That's what
I know
he's
it's not. No, he's saying it's not as bad as it was, so we should be feeling.
Well, I'm saying
like
10
things
is
are
better than 30.
Yes, I'm saying 10 is better than 30. Clearly, I know the math, but I'm saying 10,000 people dying from the flu is still to me a huge number. That's scary.
Mind-boggling.
Well, I guess it's a lot of things. I just don't. I mean, we live in a world where you throw out a number, and I always ask, well, compared to what?
Right.
Because you can make a number sound. Any numbers sound bad if you don't. I'm not. Clearly, you don't want to lose anybody to the flu.
Right.
And I have no idea how many people. I had no idea people typically die from the flu in our country. But when I heard last year was 30 and this year was 10, I thought, well, at least that's a lot better.
You're
So
right.
Brian Garrison says, can pets get the coronavirus? So when it started in China, it was animal to animal. And they thought it was, again, started in one of these open air food markets where they have all kinds of,
They sell,
crazy
I was
stuff.
reading.
Like wolf, badger.
Yeah, did you listen to that?
Yeah, I
to
did.
the daily
I
podcast
had
from the
no
New York
idea.
Times? Great.
But then it morphs, like I don't even know the right word, but it morphs every time it passes from species to species, and now from animal to human, and now from human to human. So I don't know, could you give it to your pet? I have no idea.
Interesting.
I don't think they know because they haven't pinned down the exact
Interesting.
place.
I'm having a very frustrating edition of Sunrise Extra. Why are you guys able to pull up the comments? Are you on the station Wi-Fi right now?
No.
Oh, maybe I'll get off of that. It's just a circle of nothingness happening on my phone.
So producer Jess in my ear is telling, what is it? 0.05% of the people who get the flu die. So,
Have you heard?
That's a low number.
It's very low, yeah. But I mean, it hits the elderly, infants, compromised immune systems.
Right.
You can die from the flu.
And is that the same with
coronavirus? I think is even.
Who's dying from
less.
coronavirus? I was not able to find that
Somebody
in a quick
say
Google.
2%. I think producer Rob was giving us some information when the sunrise ended. I think he says something like 2% of the people getting this virus are dying, which again, you don't want to lose anybody, but at least that's a low number.
2%, she confirms, yes.
I mean, honestly, when you hear someone gets the
you just have to put it in perspective. I mean, like that's us.
When you hear someone has the flu, typically I would say that you don't fear for that person's life. That's the bottom line, right?
Fear for my
Unless they're older or some circumstances, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So Stanford Walker, good morning. He says, that's so sad. I pray for the best. I think we all do.
Yeah.
Nicole Burchett says, I'm in West Lynn, so
The
scary.
picture. Nothing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should just put it down and give up.
On Twitter,
follow
hey,
your comments.
AKA
I
Go for Hockey on Twitter. Hi. He says, are the cruise ships issuing refunds yet if you decide not to go on a cruise? This is where refundable tickets are great to purchase.
And Ginny Carlson
if you are
weighing in
planning
again
that
this morning. She
cruise.
says, think twice about being in enclosed spaces with large groups. I have walked out of crowded theaters with lots of folks coughing. Yeah, I'll see it later. That sounds like our newsroom. People coughing and sick this season.
You don't operate like that. You would not pull yourself out of a room just because people were coughing. Am I right?
Paid for this.
Well, I don't know. I guess I've never been in a movie where that really seemed to be an issue for me. So I don't know to answer your question. But I will say that a couple things. If I'm worried about getting sick or a bad cold, airplane's a horrible place to be.
Yep.
And I also think the gym a horrible place to be. Because you got all these people on treadmills or sweating, they're coughing, and then you're getting on the machine. I know that supposedly they wipe it down, but I stopped basically going to the gym, or at least into the treadmill section,
Right.
In the wintertime. I stopped doing it.
You know
and
what?
I swear
That's
I
gonna be
have
my
not
excuse for why I
had
don't
the
work out
number
either.
of colds that I had when I was doing that.
Do you go to the gym?
Not in the wintertime.
Why is this shocking
I've never
news?
heard you
Sometimes-
say that you've gone to the gym.
Brenda, I have a gym membership that I pay every month.
You know what?
Now, we can get into why I pay it.
One of my former producers, it was hilarious. I will never forget this. She called her gym membership a fat tax because she goes, I just pay it every month, but I never
like
that.
go.
Yeah.
And I thought that was
Is
hilarious.
it
Very true.
is it 24-hour fitness?
No, it's LA Fitness. They built a new one kind of where I live. Now, I have not been since last probably October.
That's how I was, too.
2016.
I just canceled.
But I had a couple of winters last year, 19. I had a couple of winters where honestly I was getting colds all the time. And I thought about it. And I stopped, this was about 4 years ago. And I basically have not gone up into the cardio section of a gym in the middle of the wintertime since then. And my number of colds have gone from that to that.
I stopped going because I could not stand people checking out my body. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just like how annoying.
An object,
Yes,
right? Just
yes.
objectifying
So,
you.
no gym for me. No gym. Are we going to stay on this topic, or do we have a fun Friday topic to close out?
Oh, your body's fun enough.
We have bloopers we're going to show. Do you guys want to talk about boredom party or no?
We could.
We can do anything we want.
Yes,
I mean,
we can.
The answer to that
Okay,
question.
here's what I would like to know.
Let's see the bloopers. I want to.
Oh, you want to see the bloopers?
All right, let's play the bloopers.
All right,
Yeah, let's have
bloopers.
some
Here we
fun.
go. All right. Chris, get over here, man. I want to give you a big hug on Weather Person's Day.
Do we embrace the
You
Weather
big
Person's Day?
meteorologist.
Yeah!
Oh!
Careful, all right.
Might I add one more headline this morning? Oh, did you want to do that part? It said my name. I'm sorry.
Ron, please take it
It
away.
says Drew right there, Brenda. What are you talking about?
It's Weather Person's Day. It's not Newscasters Day.
Find the Super Bowl enjoyable because of that man, because I did. It like gave me a rooting interest last
Absolutely.
night.
I was rooting against him.
Really?
Yeah.
The Niners quarterback.
I got to be the contrarian here, you know, going for the Niners.
We were going
We were
for
all for it.
Mahomes.
Brenda and I were all for the
Yes.
run.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, 50 years. When we do this again, I'll beat that.
You're right. If they do the same drill, you will not see the next one.
Oh, it's depressing.
Really? In the break, he's like, pull your skirt
Yes,
up
you
so
need to
they
pull that
see
skirt up.
you're wearing red.
Pull it up
That's
uncomfortably
good.
high.
I wore a red dress yesterday. There it is.
That is awful.
I feel like Urkel now.
Sacrifice. That is terrifying. Stop it.
I have it on. I
You have
promise.
red lipstick.
Does that count?
That counts.
Absolutely
Okay.
it does.
That's wearing red.
One hot rod? They tell me one hot rod will last a lifetime.
Wow. Those are not the words of his wife. Those are the words of Rod Hill himself.
I did not name that bouquet, in fairness. I did not come up with that name.
You might argue that your mother actually created the original hot rod.
Well, you might argue that. There's really nowhere to go. Oh, it's beautiful.
Lots of nicknames this week.
Mahomes.
Mahomes lover, hot rod.
Wow.
You had actually, there was a string of like 5 days where we celebrated his birthday, his Chiefs winning
Really
the Super
has been all
Bowl,
about you.
National Weather Person's Day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
your
Oh,
floral
what's going
arranging.
on?
Yeah.
Anyways, it was a big Rod week on
It
the
was
Sunday show.
a week of hot rod.
And it'll bleed into next week, Valentine's Day, I'm
Oh
sure.
my goodness. Do we have? That's next week. I have to do something for that. Do you guys have plans? You've already thought of that?
I honestly thought tonight I would have a conversation with Mia, and I think she'll
Yeah.
get on board with this, is to say, hey, because she'll do this around Christmas time, and we never agree. Like, hey, let's not get anything for each other at Christmas. Let's save some dollars and not get, and it never works out. But I'm going to suggest we do that for Valentine's Day.
Why?
Because I haven't gotten anything yet. I'll end up getting something that has very little meaning associated to it. I'll end up getting it because
We've got
it's
a
something.
week. You have time to think of
yeah, I
something.
get what you're saying.
I thought about this. I'll tell you, I took the thought further. I thought, what if we just wrote a card to each other or a letter? We'll do that because that would be nice.
That would be lovely.
Why do you
love that.
plan, like, not on Valentine's Day weekend, but just a short, like, a Friday night?
Well, tonight we're
Spent
going to her
somewhere.
work holiday party anyway.
This is
Like, let's
she's
brainstorm.
telegraphing to Dave, her husband.
Is that what that's-
If he's thinking about that, she's like, I'm not down with that. So a little something, just to, show his
I
appreciation.
like the letter.
his love.
I like the letter.
But let me tell you,
Dave's not into Valentine's Day, right? He's not. You would like him to be?
I used to be quite opinionated about it, but now I'm just like, I'm tired. If you let me sleep in, that is
Dave's
so
like,
wonderful.
Finally,
Yeah.
she's tired.
I did that, was it a couple years ago? I said, let's not do stuff for Valentine's Day. Let's just write each other letters. And that stressed Jeff out
was
because
worse.
that's not his thing, is to write it all down. But I wrote a letter and then he said, can I like freestyle on it? And he made me a video, which is
that's
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was one of my best Valentine's Day presents either, but letters are not easy for everybody.
And let's roll that video right now. I think we have it.
I should post it, it's that funny.
One more question, if you don't mind. Yes.
Don't ask her to not do anything.
Really?
Yeah, don't.
Okay. I feel
Why,
like we have
look at this body language. She's got her legs. This.
I know. I'm just like very like no.
But then
don't.
you
How
get into
come?
the you're being
I don't
forced to
know. I just
because
don't
some
think
companies
that's
want to make a
very
bunch of
nice.
money.
Like it's not in the spirit. You don't have to buy her something.
Let's do
but
a
I
little
don't think you
test.
should be like,
you gonna
hey,
call
let's
her?
not
I'm
get
just gonna text
anything.
her. I'm gonna say, what do you want to do?
No.
I'm just gonna say, what do you want to do for Valentine's Day? See what
Nina
she
is
says.
not happy
No,
with
She's
you.
not happy.
That's not the point. It's to you to think of something and say, hey, what if we do this? And then if she's like really averse to it, then you know. But then she's like, oh, he took the initiative because she's such a planner.
No, I know what you're trying to say. I get it.
Am I stressing you out?
No, not really. I feel like we have something else going on next weekend that would preempt us from being able to do this Valentine's weekend thing. I'm going to her work holiday party tonight, and I will socialize and
It's
be
not
a
Valentine's Day.
Oh my gosh! Can I get off this topic to ask one more Valentine's related topic? Because you brought it up in my mind when you did the floral arranging.
Yes.
I would love to have a viewer poll like we do in the mornings that says, do you, women, I'm talking specifically about women I suppose, but I guess I could just put it out there flatly.
Yeah.
Do you appreciate flowers as a Valentine's Day gift? Because my wife says, and she has for years, she don't get them, and I've always thought if she's just
I'm
saying
with
that.
you.
Yeah.
I don't care about flowers. They die in a couple days, and I have to throw them away, and all the petals get on the floor, and it's like a slimy mess in the vase. Like,
And then plus they become
care about it.
stupidly expensive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's the
Stupidly
most thought of gift, right? That is the go-to gift for
Yeah.
Valentine's Day when you have nothing else in mind. You go with the flowers, but I've never heard a woman go, "Man, I cannot
I think
wait
it's
to get those Valentine's flowers."
It's too easy, and like you just went to the grocery store. and
Make
gave
them work, baby.
Well, no, I mean I think it's just like a throwaway gift.
I agree. I totally agree.
No, I'm
you.
with her on that.
It's what I feel. It's what she feels. It's what you feel. It's what you.
But my wife will say that, and then Grayson will turn around and go, "But every woman loves flowers."
See,
and I'm like,
I don't know what to say about that. I'm pretty sure Mia means it when she says, "I do not like flowers."
Yeah, no, I think she would
All right.
tell
I
you.
agree.
I like Jeff Lucas. I hope you have a Valentine's because he said cook scallops and asparagus together.
that sounds good.
Like do a little something in the
Asparagus
So
kitchen.
now dinner.
Are those aphrodisiacs?
Asparagus makes your pee smell, and that is why I don't like it.
Really?
So that is not high on the Valentine's
Really?
Day night
I find that
list.
to be fun.
Asparagus?
I love that green color.
Eat
You brought up the
something and
smell.
let me know.
It breaks up the monotony of all the other pee sessions. It's like, oh, this one's different.
No, it's so gross. I hate it.
It's, also, you know what? I like the.
Just go take her and do something fun. Like
What
silly.
the heck is the red vegetable? Beets.
Beets.
When you eat beets,
Oh,
that
yeah.
does something too.
I like beets.
It doesn't make it
Yeah.
smell, but it makes it a little
Oh,
redder.
you're
Yeah.
Makes
I love
you pee a
beets.
little red. You're like, oh my gosh, is that blood in my urine? No.
Happy
it's
Friday!
the beets.
The beets.